licenses for the third round go on sale on Monday. So that's where the third round is where a hunter who's already gotten two licenses in the first and second round can get a third license,
Mhm.
or hunters who got no licenses can buy three at a time. The outlook is sort of anybody's guess, but it seems like it should be fairly predictable. As of now, there are six WMUs, and that's our wildlife management units. Antlerless deer licenses are issued by WMU. There are six WMUs that are sold out entirely, with 16 of 22 WMUs have licenses remaining. There are a couple of those where the number remaining is in the thousands, but most of them they're in the tens of thousands. So it would seem that there wouldn't be necessarily a real rush outside of those WMUs that have the smallest numbers remaining right now. But at the same time, it always behooves hunters to watch the real time license allocation, the number of licenses remaining in each WMU. I wouldn't expect necessarily long lines, but at the same time, in addition to the third round of antlerless license sales beginning on Monday, that's also when we open sales for our Deer Management Assistance Program permits, or DMAP permits. Those are similar to antlerless licenses in that those permits can be used to harvest antlerless deer. But unlike antlerless licenses, which are issued by WMU, DMAP permits are valid on specific properties. So, especially when you're dealing with DMAP permits available on public properties like state forest and state parks, state game lands,
Mhm.
some of those are available in limited quality. They're all available in limited quantities, but especially for some of those public properties, there are few of them available. So it with DMAP permits and antlerless licenses, both. There can be a fight for the remaining licenses left among those hunters who want them. But especially with DMAP permits for properties where there aren't very many to begin with, it's first come, first serve, and only those who get in first are going to get their permits. So I do expect there to be some crowds out Monday morning buying up those DMAP permits where there are small numbers, maybe getting that third antlerless license. But at the same time, what I've seen a lot in this new process is hunters are tracking the remaining allocation. This year when we opened up antlerless license sales
Mhm.
in the first round, and we opened sales only in three WMUs that were first come first serve, and then extended a guarantee to hunters in the remaining WMUs, giving them 11 days to buy a license, and they're guaranteed to get one. Uh, you're seeing a lot of people who don't want to wait in line and are showing you through their actions that they're not going to. They're watching that remaining allocation. They're looking for an opportunity where they can get a license without having to stand in line, and that's going to be the case for antlerless licenses in the third round, given the large numbers that are remaining in many WMs.
Okay. One one thing that I want to touch on a little bit here too is um, when I was doing a little bit of research on this with the DMAP,
Mm-hmm.
part of it said that it can also help you guys with chronic wasting disease samples. And I was hoping you could maybe explain a little bit how that process works and why that part of it is important to the Game
Yeah,
Commission.
and probably the best example for that was the DMAP unit. Again, there are licenses or DMAP permits will be available in this unit this year, but last year when we established that DMAP unit in a whole new area of the state that had not had chronic wasting disease
Mhm.
previously, the a big priority, a bit like one of the main goals of establishing that DMAP unit was to get enough samples to try to find out whether to what extent CWD was established there. So, through it, all of that takes hunter cooperation. Where we have CWD and where we have CWD disease management areas, we also offer free testing for hunters. They're essentially for the deer that they harvest. They either can take them to a cooperating deer processor, and the deer processor can submit that deer for testing. Or if the hunters do their own processing, they can drop off the head of that deer in a CWD collection bin.
Okay.
So, and that way they can await the results of their tests. They usually run about 10 days till results come back. They can hold off on eating any venison from that animal as a precautionary measure. They can discard any meat of a CWD infected deer that they learn is infected. But along with that benefit, it does help the Game Commission gauge the extent of infection in an area, and especially like last year where we established a new DMAP unit and put in place some extended seasons in that DMAP unit, primarily because of new CWD infection and trying to learn more about the extent of that. We through the cooperation of hunters and the sampling they do, we get a better hold on the CWD problem in that given area.
What which area of the state are we talking here? Is any of that local here to us in South Central PA?
Just north of Harrisburg.
Okay, great. I guess just one last question that I would have for you here before I let you go is just sort of how for hunters, why do you folks go through this round of licensing? To try to help them understand that, right? Because I mean, obviously they know that these rounds exist, but why does the Game Commission do it that way?
Right. Well, we manage deer populations and wildlife populations by and large through our system of wildlife management units. So we will allocate a number of antlerless licenses per WMU based on what we know about the deer population there, and then what we know about what it will take to achieve deer management goals. If deer populations are too high and you want to lower them, you would issue a higher number of licenses. Reverse, if you have too low deer populations and you want to build them back up. So, that managing at that scale is easier and more appropriate than managing at a broad scale. So, it's not so simple as giving everyone an antlerless deer license with their license or allowing them to use an antlerless deer license in any part of the state, because the deer populations are different there and their needs are different there. The habitat's different there. Deer impacts on habitat are different there. So as we saw in the first round and as we talked about with these WMUs where antlerless licenses are sold out, demand by hunters is different in different WMUs as well. So by selling licenses through rounds, it allows for it protects against the overselling of licenses or licenses. A higher deer harvest than would be ideal in certain parts of the state. It's all connected to deer management goals and the scientific management of deer populations.